If you can't do that, you will fail. Shot and killed. And residual income means you're laying in bed making money. And you're doing that because you have put yourself into other people. And then the last definition of leadership is John Maxwell, a friend of mine and a contemporary. John Maxwell says this: leadership is influence. It's influence. The bottom line, right? Everyone in this, now listen, everyone in this room will influence a minimum of 12 people every day. Every day. Every day you're going to influence someone, up to 12 people. You're going to get out of bed and you're going to influence your wife. You're going to influence your kids. You're going to be driving in your car and somebody will cut you off and you'll influence them. Things will happen. You'll go to work. But every day you're going to influence 12 people. In your organization, your people are looking at you. What kind of influence are you? How do you walk? How do you talk? How do you dress? How do you respond to challenges? That makes sense? Leadership is influence. In my book, The Power of Layered Leadership, my definition is this: the positive, progressive, ethical influence on others. You've got to read the book, Amazon. Positive. You can't lead an organization like this unless you're positive. This is not a place to be, well, I think it's going to work. You've got to be alive. You don't have to be insane, but you have to be positive. You've got to get the dopamine up here working for you. You've got to open up all those learning centers. Okay? You have to be progressive. You have to become a student of this business. When I got in this industry, I had the opportunity to work with a gentleman that's still amazing. His name's Dexter Yeager. And I spent years with Dexter. And every time I was with him, I was taking notes. I was always learning. If you ever stop learning in this industry, you're gone. Become an intentional student. Keep working with yourself. Read biographies of men and women that have achieved success. And ethical. Ethics is the glue that keeps it together. Ethics is to determine whether or not this corporation will remain together, and I believe it will. Are you with me so far? Are we having fun yet? You thought you was going to get motivated. I'm here to help you become financially free. If you wanted somebody to come in and beat a drum and go, I can do that too. But see, I see greatness in you. I see potential in you. I see that you have the opportunity to be free. And I don't want you walking out of here thinking, well, it's just going to be a piece of cake. No, it's not. But it's worth it. It's worth it not to have to get up and go to work. It's worth it in order to drive any car you want to drive. It's worth it to live any place you want to live in the world. It's worth it, but you're going to work your butt off. Can I get an uh-huh? But it's going to be fun because we're going to be happy. Now let's talk about a creative culture, a contagious culture. What does it take? See, what I've viewed over 41 years of this industry is how many organizations have destroyed themselves. I've been with men and women that own their own Rolls Royces, own their own jets, fill coliseums of 20, 25,000 people that are gone today. I've seen companies, and can you imagine the number of network marketing companies I've seen in 41 years that started? Great ideas, great comp plans, and failed. And the challenge was they didn't know how to create this culture. See, the key here and what you have right now in an embryonic state is you have some owners that are working close together. They exercise their abilities so well one to another. You're young. The key is this: getting that group with your group moving in the same direction with the same voice. It comes from number one, this. You ready? Values. Values. I recently had the opportunity to become a partner and an investor in a pretty good sized company. I had like 500 employees, and my responsibility was to come in and to help train those employees. It was a good sized company, but the company has sat there 27 years dormant. So you can imagine I came in and I'm going to have to create a new culture for this company. Well, the CEO of that company and I were pretty close. And he started from the top. And he said, we have to have a set of values. See, what I've seen and around the world is most companies don't have values. Values are what keeps it alive. Values is your character. The three of us, the three partners, we went away and we had a company come in and interview each one of us separately for hours. Then they brought us together and listened to all of us talk. And then they went away and determined what our values were. That makes sense? They came back and here were the values. They said you're authentic, you're compassionate, you're humble, but yet you're vibrant and you're disruptive. You have values. You as an individual need to establish your values. Those values is how we hire people at our company. If they come into our environment, if they don't fit into those values, they're going to have a miserable, miserable time. It's not that we're better than any human being. It's just this is our values. If you come into our company and you've got a lot of pride and you know it all, you're not going to last. If you're humble, you're going to last. If you're compassionate, you're going to last. If you really care on how people think and how you can help them, you will last. That makes sense? And no company can stand for any length of time without having those values. Number two, you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision. There was a gentleman called Martin Luther King in the United States. He started the civil rights movement. He stood on the steps in Washington, D.C., and he said this, I have a strategic plan. He didn't say that. He said, I have a dream. I go into corporate America saying, you got to have a dream. And they look at me like a deer in headlights. And they have to do that because they don't have the opportunity that you have. It's hard to dream when you know there's a top. There's no top for you. You can go as high as you want to go in this company. But it starts with a vision. Listen to this. A guy named Walt Disney. Have you ever heard about Walt? Listen to him. He said, anything that you can imagine and dream, you can have. He said, this whole thing here started with a mouse and a dream. Van Gogh said, I go to sleep and I dream about what I'm going to paint. And then I get up the next morning and paint my dreams. I have yet to meet an entrepreneur or a capitalist that has created wealth that won't tell you about they had a dream. And today around the world, some people are trying to take that dream away. But you got to have that vision. You got to have that dream. Values, vision, and now one voice. I'm just giving you the top water, guys. I mean, we can go hours on everything that I've talked about, but I don't want to do that. One voice. Lock this in. Write it down. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. When we started in Amway in 1975, we never sold one box of soap. And yet we did $1 billion. Why? We sold the dream. The dream. By having this opportunity, you can fulfill your dreams. You guys have got gold. Oh, that's wonderful. But that person sitting there, what can I do with that gold? I can supply answers to your dreams. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. I've had the opportunity to build 3 organizations, all of them to the top 0.25% income. I'm not a genius, but I know how to sell a dream. I know how to let people know that what they're working for, they can attain. I know how to transfer belief from me into a person because most people don't have that belief. They don't buy what you do. Everybody used to say, and Victor used to hear me say this, I hate it. Don't you ever do this. If you're in my organization, Victor knew this. Don't ever come to me and talk to me about the competition. I don't care about the competition. There is no competition for the man and woman who knows who they are and where they're going. Everything looks better on the outside. Know what you have. Get excited about it. Nobody buys what you do. See, everybody else in network marketing sells, here's my plan. Here's my compensation plan. Here's my product. So what's different? My question to you, why would I want to be in this company? You ready to go deeper? Why would I want to be with you? Now you go back. Are you excited? Are you progressive? Huh? Are you positive? Why would I want to be with you? That's the why. Let me give you 3 little examples before I get into the meat of the message. Isn't that something? 3 brands. 3 brands. There's one called Walt Disney. How many theme parks are there around the world? Hundreds. But why is it that Disney World and Disneyland, I think they just opened in China, didn't they? A new Disney World. And they all succeed. But other theme parks just survive. Disney doesn't sell the rides. That's not what they sell. They sell you the why. Why do you want to come to Disneyland? Happiness. We are going to make you the happiest people on earth. That's their why. Bill Marriott. There's hotel chains all over the world. But why is it that Bill Marriott just keeps growing and growing and growing? He doesn't sell rooms. Come to my hotel and you'll be revived. Revived. The why. There's an airlines in America called Southwest. It's a little airlines. It just got bigger and bigger. They've never lost money since their inception in the 1970s, even when the gas prices were down. They don't sell transportation on a plane. Come and fly with us. You'll have fun. The why. People get excited. Am I making sense yet? See, you've got to have some things going on in your life personally. Then you've got to plug in being a leader. And then you can build this culture that will help you grow. Last point today. These you need to take down. I love history. Y'all love history? I love history. I read history all the time. There's one story I read in the Old Testament in the Bible. And it was, have you ever heard of Moses? Did he get this far? Okay, Moses. And Moses and God, I think. And now, what was happening, are you ready? Listen to this for a leadership lesson. I'm reading the other day and I'm going, this is great history. What it was, are you ready? Moses died. He had all of these distributors with him. Children of Israel, right? And he was getting ready to lead them. And all of a sudden, bam, he dies. Just dead. Now can you imagine your big leader? Bam, they're dead. And when you read the history, it says all the people sat around for 30 days mourning. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Moses is dead. Our leader is dead. And God calls on a guy that was duplicated called Joshua. And he said this to Joshua after 30 days. He says, hey, Josh. Probably not like that. Joshua, what? Moses is dead. Number 1, accept the reality for where you are right now today. He was saying, Joshua, accept the reality for where you are. It may not look good. It may look a little ugly. It may look a little bleak. But accept where you are. I will tell you today, accept the reality of where you are. And guess what? Each and every month, you get to reestablish that reality. Just like any corporation, each and every month, you start anew. At the end of the month, you either lost, you broke even, or you made a profit. It doesn't matter. You start over the next month, trying to put a string of months together to win. Number 2, he said this to Joshua. Rise up. Quit laying around, groaning around, and going, I don't know what we're going to do. He said, rise up. Stand up. Get out there and get something done. Go do it, Joshua. Number 3, he said this, fear not. Write this down. Fear kills more people than death. People are going to be getting into your organizations and your group. You know what they're afraid of? They don't have all the answers. They're fearful whether or not they can give a presentation. They're fearful on whether or not they have the ability to communicate. Fear, 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 fear. But remember what was told to Joshua. Fear not. The next one was this. Do not look to the left. Do not look to the right. Look forward. Next, focus. Focus. You've got to have such laser focus in this business, in this industry. You're not looking to the left. I don't care what the competitor's doing. I'm going to be steaming down the road. You don't look to the left or the right. You don't look back. You realize how many people spend so much time looking in the back? When I went into this company that we purchased, I walked in, 500 employees. I took out a rear view mirror of a car, and I took a hammer, and I busted that mirror. Bam! Their eyes got that big around. I said, we're never looking back. I don't care what this company's done in 27 years. I don't care. I don't want you looking back. Some of you guys have had some struggles. Things may have not gone the way you want them to go. Don't sit there and spend time. If God wanted you to look behind you, He would have put an eye right here. He didn't do that. Look forward. Look forward. And you know what He told him next? You ready? God told Joshua, expect great things to happen. Expect great things to happen. Man, get excited for where you are right now in this place with this company. But expect great things to happen. Expect you to be up here on this platform financially free. Expect the ability of having thousands upon thousands of people in your organization that you've helped become financially free. Expect great things to happen in this company. Don't sit around saying, boy, I hope it works. I remember when I went to Budapest, and Victor did such a great job. I think we got up to around 3,000 distributors at one of his events that he put together over there. And I started the event by asking this question, how many of you hope to be a millionaire? Bam! Everybody's hands went up. And I said this, if you hope to be a millionaire, you'll never be a millionaire. Just like you, they're going. Folks, take the word hope out of your vocabulary and say this instead. I expect to be a millionaire. I expect for this company to win. I expect for my marriage to work. I expect for my family. I expect. Here's why. As long as you hope, your mind sets up a route of escape. That's why you hear people say, well, I was hoping I could be rich, but I knew down deep it wasn't going to work. See, they had an escape. There's no escape when you say, I expect for great things to happen. God told Joshua, expect great things to happen. And sometimes I see people going around, well, I sure hope this comes together. It won't come together unless you expect it to come together. And here's the last word for you. Are you ready? 4 times. Not once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times. God told Joshua, be strong, be courageous. Be strong, be courageous. Be strong, be courageous. Be strong, be courageous. He did that in a very short period of time. He must have really felt the fact that he needed to understand that he needed to be strong. What is strong? Being strong, write it down, is who you are. Back to values, your character, your integrity, your ethics. You don't steal each other's people. You don't do stupid things like that. You don't hurt your own income. You don't turn around to your organization and talk negative. I can't believe that the company did this or the company did that. Folks, that's your income. Don't kill your income. If you have a challenge, you take it to your mentor. You take it to the company. You take it to someone up here. Your job is to breathe life into your organization, not death. Strong and courageous. Strong is who you are. Courageous is what you do. It's what you do. It's going to take courage for you to go build this. I'm a simple man. When I got involved in this industry, we'd lost everything. But my dream, and I always said, if one person can do it, I expect to do it. I'm going to leave you with a story. There's a college right up the road from me in Texas. It's called Baylor University. There's a gentleman there named Grant Taff. Grant Taff and I are very, very good friends. He's been my mentor. Grant's now 83. He's still strong. He's still alive, man. I mean, he's excited to be around. I love to go up and visit with him when I can. There's a big statue of him on that campus. That's how powerful he was at that university, and still is. Grant told a story. And here's the way it goes. When you go on that campus at Baylor University, you'll see these beautiful lights that light up at night. You know, big lights. Under each one of the lights is a name of an individual that lost their life in the war. Any war for America. One of those names is a gentleman named Jack Loomis. You can Google that name. Jack Loomis. Jack graduated from Baylor. He was a football player at Baylor. Then he went and played in the National Football League. Great athlete. And then the war broke out. Jack just took off and he ran and he joined the United States Marine Corps. He says, I want to be a Marine. I want to go defend our nation. Jack joins. Because of Jack's leadership skills, they made Jack a platoon leader, which means he had about 20, 30 guys under him. When you read the story of Jack, you'll find on a certain day that they invaded a particular island. And when that boat opened up and these men went out, 7,000 troops were killed. Jack kept going. He kept going up the hill, and he was waving on his guys behind him. Come on, we can do it. Grenades were coming. Everybody was shooting at one another. He goes up a little further, and all of a sudden a grenade hits him and blows his shoulder almost off. So he takes his other hand. Come on, let's go. We can do it. He goes up and he has another battle with another enemy troop, and he wins. And then as the story reads, it says some of his men looked up and they saw him in kind of dust, you know, with all the battle, with all the bombs and everything. And they saw him in what they thought was a foxhole, you know, a hole. And they said, there's Jack. And here he is going, come on, you can do it. And as his troops started running up the hill, they got up close to him and they looked at Jack, and he wasn't in a foxhole. Jack had both of his legs blown off. He was standing on two stubs, telling his men, come on, come on. Strong, courageous. You don't have to lose your legs to be a winner in this industry. But you have to be resilient. You have to believe in yourself. You've got to stay with the basics. You've got to learn how to duplicate yourself. You've got to learn how to talk, how to walk, and you'll win. I think you guys have got a wonderful opportunity here with some great men in leadership to lead you. The skills they bring to the table are phenomenal. You're going to go through some battles. It's going to happen. You know what that's for? To test your attitude. Test your attitude. The question is, each time you go through a battle, do you come out stronger? You have the potential here. The question isn't whether or not you can create a good opportunity. The question has always been, are you the people to deliver it? I think you are. Thank you for today. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, guys.